Jory John is making some books on YouTube, videos on YouTube, books and videos, and now it's on the internet.
Hello friends, family, neighbors, people I've never talked to in my life. Hello educators, parents, students, and people in their houses throughout the country and the world. My name is Jory John, and I'm an author. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, readers everywhere, it's interesting times to say the least, so I thought I would start using this YouTube channel a little bit more to post videos rather than just watch people unbox iPhones. That's right. So in the coming days and weeks, I may read a book I've written, I may chat a little bit, we'll just see how it goes. Today I thought we'd start with a bedtime story, Goodnight Already. And I know what you're thinking, just start reading, man, what's with all the prelude? But I want to tell you something, Goodnight Already comes from an actual story. Way back in college, I lived in an apartment, and I lived below a guy who every night at midnight would wake up and start walking around, and every single night at 1 a.m. he'd start hammering into the floor. And every single night at 2 a.m., 20 of his closest friends would come over and march around in a circle. I was tired all the time. I became somebody standing on a folding chair with a broomstick in my hand, pounding on the ceiling. Nothing worked. So when you want to know where ideas come from, that's where they come from. They come from a guy living above you for 4 years. All right, here we go. Goodnight Already by Jory John, illustrated by Benji Davies, who couldn't be here today to read this because he's in London, and actually, we've never met. We've talked a couple times on the phone. He seems like a lovely guy. So we have two houses side by side. A bear lives in one of them, and a duck lives in the other. Here we are at Duck's house. He's reading a book called 101 Ways to Stay Awake. Then we cut back to Bear's house, and he says, I've never been so tired. I could sleep for weeks, months even. And here we are back at Duck's house, and he says, I've never been so awake. I wonder what old Bear is up to. And Bear's getting into bed and says, I can't wait to sleep. Here we go. Yes. But there's a knock at the door. Bear, it's me, Duck. Open up. Come on, buddy. And Bear runs downstairs. What is it, Duck? I was fast asleep. Duck says, hey, I'm bored. Want to hang out? Okay, for this part of the book, I'm going to need a little bit of crowd help. Every time Duck asks a question, Bear is going to say no. And I need everybody watching this video to say no. Let's try it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, no. Okay, here we go. Want to play cards? No. Watch a movie? No. Start a band? No. Make smoothies? No. Talk all night? No. Play cards? You already said that. Read books to each other? No. So then Duck says, fine, good night already. And Bear just says, whatever. And gets back in bed and says, bed. Yes. Quick question for the crowd. Do you think Bear's gonna get back to sleep? I'll wait for your answer. Let's take a look. Almost asleep. Psst! Bear! It's Duck from next door. Okay, for this part of the book, I'm gonna need a little bit of crowd help. Every time Duck asks a question, Bear is gonna say no. And I need everybody watching this video to say no. Let's try it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, no. What? I want to make cookies. Can I borrow some sugar? No. Butter? No. Dough? No. Salt? No. Butter? You already said that. Can I just borrow some cookies then? No! And then Bear yells, "Good night already!" That duck, always bothering me. I need to get some new neighbors. Later though, too tired. Must sleep. Ah. Ah! How on earth? I used my spare key. That was for emergencies. This is an emergency. What? What is it, Duck? What's the emergency? I stubbed my beak. See? Duck, you've got to stop waking me up. Out! Now! But I said good night already. Geez, Bear is so grouchy. His bad attitude is making me tired. And Duck sits down in his favorite chair with his favorite book and he starts to read. Once upon a time there was a... And he's fast asleep. And poor Bear is back in his kitchen making some cookies. And he says, "I've never been so awake."